So why learn logo animation in the first place? Now let's say, for example, you are scrolling on social media and you see a still image of a logo. While you may think the logo is fine, an animated version of the logo will keep or catch your attention more. You will want to wait for the animation to finish before you keep scrolling. Hello everyone, my name is Adam. I'm a professional graphic and motion designer from Casablanca, Morocco with 7 years experience now. I've worked with many brands like Wondershare, Animaker, and in this class I will show you how to make this simple yet clean logo animation in Adobe After Effects. Now this class is for beginners in logo animation or pretty much anyone who wants to learn motion graphics or Adobe After Effects. Now, with that being said, a little basic knowledge in After Effects may be helpful or required in this case. So we'll start by doing a simple reveal using the mask parameters, and then we're gonna do a letter by letter reveal using the opacity and using the cursor type. We'll try to synchronize both to make it look like it's a synchronized typing animation. And finally, we will see how we can play with the camera movements to make the logo animation a little bit more interesting. Also, we'll be using the wake bezel to add things like bouncing, which will also help improve the animation. Now for this class, of course, you will need Adobe After Effects and you will need the wake bezel or the wake Angela. For After Effects, I'm using the latest version, which is CC 2025, but any CC version should be fine. And of course, if you want to download the wake bezel, it's free and you can just type it on Google, go to their website and download for free. Now with that being said, see you inside the class. So in this first part of the lecture, we'll go ahead and animate the logo. We'll make a simple reveal using the mask, but there is a technique here that I want to share with you guys to make the masking a little bit more easier. So once you open After Effects, you go ahead and new project. And now for new composition. And these are the dimensions I'm working with. You can pretty much work with any dimensions here. Depends, of course, on what type of animation you'll be making. So for now, I'm working with these. Click OK. And first thing I like to do is go ahead and add a background. So we'll go ahead and add a solid background, white color, and then just lock it. The next thing I want to do here is go to text. So let's find T, this one. And I will be using the Futura bold for this one, which I find the most suitable for this animation. And then let's just type in Sumo. Just like this. No caps, just like this. Now let's go ahead and center this in the middle. Let's find a line and then a line in the middle. So if you're wondering what workspace I'm working with, you can find it here. So I'm doing all panels for this one. And now here's the thing. For this first layer, we're just gonna keep it as a reference. So what I'm gonna do is just click here. See for opacity, make sure you have this on. And now let's decrease the opacity to something like this. Again, I'm gonna lock this layer. Now with the text tool still selected, I'm gonna click here and write down two letters, S and U. Click away, click again, and M and O. I'm gonna grab those and then just adjust them to our reference, all right? Because we're gonna be animating them separately. Now grab the pen tool, and then I'm gonna add a shape here. So make sure, of course, no fill, right? Should be here, none. And stroke, we have 30 here. Let's put it around 15. Click here and then click here. All right, that's not a horizontal line. So again, click here, hold shift, click here. Control Command Z, maybe here a little bit. All right, this is better. And same thing here from the top. So I'm gonna click here, hold shift, click here, just like this. Now, if I click on this layer, shape layer 1, I can adjust it using the arrows on my keyboard and holding shift. Do something like this. Same thing for this one. Do something like this. Let's go ahead and rename those layers real quick. So right click and then rename. So this one, line bottom. This one, line top. 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 This one, line top This one, line top. I'm just adjusting this one on the bottom a little bit more, closer to the letters. So now let's start with our first animation. What we want to do here is animate the S and U first, all right? And we just want it to appear like it's coming out from this line. And in order to do that, we're going to have to use masks, all right? So with the layer selected, come over here to rectangle tool, click and drag like this. I'm going to go ahead and hide the reference for now. Let's go back to SNU. Now here's the thing. If I go ahead now and just animate the position, transform and then position, the entire thing is moving, even the mask, all right? And we don't want to adjust like this. We don't want the reveal to be adjusted like this. We want just let it to move, and we want the mask to stay. Now to do that, instead of changing from here, transform directly, what we can do is come over here to Animate, click, and then add a position parameter or option. All right, so now we have rectangle select to 1 and we have position. I'm going to add a keyframe here, zoom into the timeline, bring it here, around 10 frames, so around here, and come back to position and then put it down just like this. All right, so now only the letter is moving. If I click on play, you can see the reveal. Okay, now let's make this better by adding easings. All right, so for that we're gonna add F9. That's better. All right, and we can make it even better if we go ahead and select these keyframes, go to the speed graph, make sure you have all these options selected. And now let's say we want this animation to start fast and end up slowly. So what I'm going to do is select this parts of the handles or of the curve and then drag it to the left like this. Same thing for this part. So now the animation will start fast. All right, the high curve like this means it's going to start fast and then slow downs at the end. All right, and this is way better. Now we're going to go ahead and do the same thing for letter M, but this one we want it from the top. So again, with the layer selected, rectangle tool, mask the letter, animate, add position, add a keyframe, click on use, so I just have the keyframes here and the keyframes here. Move to 10 frames, and this time from the top. F9 for easings, and same thing for the speed graph. We want something like this. And there we have it. So now we have our animation. Next, we want to animate the lines. All right, so the idea is that we animate the line first and then the typo after. So I'm gonna grab these two layers and just drag them to the right a little bit for now. Now let's go to line bottom, open the options, and we go to add, trim path. Then let's start with the end. Okay, so it's gonna start with 0 like this, then around 10 frames, 100. Okay, and same thing we want to do for this one on the top. So you can copy and paste the keyframes and you have it here. And let's do the same thing. Select all, F9, speed graph, grab all. There we go, and then adjust the curve like this. All right, so around here, Let's bring back these two layers. All right, and we can even offset those a little bit. So this one, for example, here. And this one here. All right. Now to make everything disappear. So the animation will start. It will hold here for 1 second or so. Now around 2 seconds, let's go ahead and add keyframes for the position. Then around 10 frames again. Like make this one go up and this one go down. Let's play. Okay. Now that the letter has disappeared, it's time to make the lines disappear as well. So around here, when it's gone, let's go ahead and add keyframe for the trim path here and here. 10 frames. We're gonna make them disappear. Oops, I have to adjust this. You can see that it's a bit slow. I want it to be more faster. So let's bring it 2 frames closer. Okay, and then let's adjust the speed graph as well. So we want something like this. And here something like this. And to make it more interesting, click on P for the position parameter. Add keyframes here, then click on U. Select both and drag. F9, F9. Let's play the entire animation now. Now, of course, Control Command S to save our document, and let's give it a name. So that's the first part of our logo animation. Up next, we'll do the second part of our logo animation. Click on here, pan behind, and then let's just adjust the starting points of the animation. I want it to be here from the bottom. Again, I'm going to move this keyframe around 10 frames. And then bring this down. Same thing, F9. And same thing with the easings. Start fast and slow. I forgot to hide those. Let's hide those. No, not you. You. Let's increase the distance between the keyframes to make the animation fast. This looks better. Once the animation is done here, we're gonna go ahead and animate the position. So P for position, add a keyframe, U. And then I'm going to move around the 8 frames and drag all the way to the right. Around here, and I'm just eyeballing here the distance between the letters, and I'm trying to do the same with this line. So I think here is good. Somewhere here. Now, this time, instead of adding the easings, we're going to go ahead and add an expression. With the selection tool, select all. Now I'm going to go to Windows, scroll down, tweak Angela. Now let's find this icon. It looks like play icon. Click here, go to key leaner, and then bounce, no simulation. Put this here for now. Again, let's select these keyframes. Click here on follow through, then uncheck bounce. Let's click on play. All right, this is exactly what I want. Now, here's the thing. We're going to go ahead and animate each of these letters individually. We will be animating, of course, the appearance of these. But before we do that, let's come over here to line top. The animation finishes here. So I'm going to drag all of these babies here. Okay, and we can start animating from here after the first animation. All right, so around here, let's start with letter S, T for opacity, and then make sure the animation starts either from here or from the side here. All right, so here or here, I'm gonna do it from here. Let's zoom into the timeline until you can see each frame individually. Now I'm gonna start moving the playhead like this. All right, so from here to here, this should appear. That rhymes well. From here to here, that should appear. All right, around here, the crease. Then let's just switch those because it should be like this instead. All right, you see. Hold on. Whoop. All right, so here. Let's see. View. Okay, that's cool. Now for the second one. So around here. T. Add a keyframe. And around here. Add another one. And this one. Let's put it 0. There we go. Let's see how it goes. Boom. All right. Now for M, T, add one here. Let's move the playhead around here. Add another one here. Now let's come back to this one. Let's put 0. Let's see. Okay, so in this case, because this is letter M, it may be a little bit difficult to animate. So let's just adjust. So you can either adjust the distance between the transparency parameter here on letter M, or instead we can adjust this, the position parameter of the sideline. If I put it here, Okay, this is better. Okay, this is better. And for the last one, once we have the follow through, so once the bar is here, or the line is here, and it's coming back, right here, I'm gonna animate the letter O. So I'm gonna add the keyframe for the position first. Here. I'm gonna drag it here for now. And then move this to the side like this. And then let's make it look like it's gonna hit the M. And come back to its place. Just switch those like this. So once this one here, okay, so once this one is here, it's coming back. It's gonna hit the M and come back to its place. View. Here, just drag it a little bit more. And let's go ahead and find the M. And this time we want the scale parameter. Add a keyframe here. Unlink. So once it hits here, we'll have something like this. And then let's bring it back to its original position. Control Command S, Control Command V this keyframe to make it bounce back to its original position. All right, cool. Now, of course, let's just go back to letter O and animate the opacity. So it starts with 0. Then around here, it appears. Okay, U. And then let's just add an expression to both this keyframe. All right, so to the position keyframe of the O, same thing, K-linear. Bounce, no simulation. Follow through, uncheck bounce. And same thing with the scale for the M. Click the 3 dots of the K-linear, bounce, no simulation. Follow through and uncheck bounce. Let's click on play now. Okay, so now since we added an expression, of course, you can see some changes in here. That's fine. We can just change those. All right, so now that we applied the expression, you can see that the animation changed, and all we need to do now is just change the distance between the keyframes so we obtain the same animation that we had earlier. So that's totally normal. Because once you apply expression, it will change the behavior of the animation, and you just need to adjust the distance again between the keyframe so you can have the same behavior again. Now we're gonna go ahead and try different stuff. until we get what we want. Okay, so now once the O hits the M, it will squash. Then do this. Okay, too early for this. Let's bring it back here. It will hit the line and come back to its place. Now this could be a bit tricky because we added the bouncing and stuff. So just try to adjust the position keyframes of the O and the M accordingly while you are playing the animation like this. Okay, and if you have trouble, you can download the entire file and check how I did it. All right, so we have position here of letter O, couple frames, we move it. All right, then we add position for the scale down here. Then one frame, we squash the letter M, and then 2 frames, we put it back to its place. All right, so that's of course applying the Kaolin or the expression. Now let's go ahead and just play the animation. All right, looks good. Let's bring back the other layers and let's see what we have so far. Like this, no, this one. All right, so around here. Let's move this here. Let's play again. Now finally here what we're gonna do is just play a little bit with the camera movements, with the trim path, just to add a little flair or a little more movement to the entire animation scene of the logo. Now we're gonna wait a little bit for the animation to settle down once we have this. Then around here, whatever you feel like the audience have seen the logo now, you need to add another animation. Around here, what we're gonna do is add a keyframe to make this line disappear. So move it a couple of frames, around 10 or less. You can always do 10 frames, distance between keyframes in an animation. And then you can either increase or decrease the distance between the keyframe depending on how fast you want the animation to be. Put it down. All right, so you want it to go down fast. Now for the last piece of animation, once this is gone, around here, let's go ahead and add a rectangle shape this time. Make sure nothing is selected. Something like this. Let's adjust it a little bit to the middle. Okay, we are done now with the expression, so we can put it somewhere here. Let's go to align. And then just center this in the middle like this. Maybe adjust the stroke width. And then let's animate the stroke width. So rectangle, stroke, stroke width, add the keyframe, move it a little bit, around 10 frames or so. Then here, 0, again, F9. That was too fast. Let's increase the distance between the keyframes. Okay, a little bit less, like 2 frames or less, or 1 frame. All right. And then now what I want to do is add the last part of the animation, which is just the rectangle appearing and then the entire logo moving to the side. So for that, we're going to go to layer, new, then we're going to add an all objects. Now, next thing you want to do is link everything, the logo to the null object. So this one is going to be null 1, and this one, null 1, null 1, 1, null 1. Now we go to null 1 and then P for position, add a keyframe around here. We're going to move it a little bit to the side. Also, we're going to put S for scale, add a keyframe here, U, then put this one here, and then decrease the scale of everything a little bit. All right, same thing. Okay, we forgot to click F9 first. Come back to this. I have to select both and this, like this. All right, let's play the entire animation now. Okay, so around here. Just move this 2 frames. It happens fast after the sideline disappears. So again, I'm going to move these couple of frames here. All right, let's play again. All right, now one more thing we can do here is just add a camera view. so it can follow the logo. Camera, make sure all these settings are like this. Okay. Camera and light do not affect 2D layers. So before we do that, let's go ahead and delete this. Make sure this is all 3D layers. Okay, not everything, but up till here. Only the things we want to be affected. Let's go ahead and add layer new camera. Okay, let's go. Once we have this here, let's go back to our null objects. So the animation starts here. Let's go to camera here, open this, position, transform. We're gonna add the keyframe here. And once this moves like this, we're gonna add another keyframe here. And the orientation as well. And then a couple frames. Control Command C, Control Command V to put it on its place. U. Let's see how it goes. Let's open this. Camera options. And then let's add the keyframe for the Y rotation. Once it moves here, it will follow here. Yeah. Then here, just making sure to keep the logo in the middle of the animation. F9. Now let's click on play. And there you have it. That's our animation.